Okay, I'm going to kind of dread this because I have at least a couple more planes that are bigger than this box, and yet you can't even get this entire one on the page. There we go. Hello, welcome back to another Models by me. Again, we'll continue with the naval theme for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more planes. I think there's only about 6 or 7 more planes left before we'll jump back onto something that's not naval related. And if you guys are getting enough of the Navy planes and want a break, let me know. So, yes, we're going to be looking at Revell's 1/72nd scale PBY Catalina. We'll be doing this in the usual manner of we'll have a look at the outside of the box, then the contents, then the instructions, and then the sprues. Right, I'm going to put the camera down here for a minute while I do the little bit of history section. Right, so the Catalina was first flew in 1935 before finally being introduced in 1936. It was retired in US Navy Reserves for service back in 1957, with the Brazilians finally retiring it in 1982. Wow, this thing flew. Well, naturally it's an airplane, but it flew for a long time. It was originally designed to be a patrol bomber with long operational range to kind of disrupt, find and disrupt supply lines. Has the additional bonus of any downed air crews, this thing can actually land in the water and go pick them back up. So very helpful in that regards. So that'd be really it for the history section. I'll probably keep the history section of these going on the start of these videos. If it's going to be common planes like Catalina or Spitfire, they're going to be really short. On some like the more obscure ones, I'll make them a bit longer. Because as I say, they're really obscure planes, so you're not going to necessarily know too much about them, or even know the plane existed. But some of these common ones, yeah, I'm going to keep these short going forwards. Now I've got to do the outside of the box one-handed. This is going to be fun. Right, let's pick up the camera again. So, here we go. Right, so we've got some nice artwork on the front of the box with 3 Catalinas actually. So this is one of the variants you can make. I think this is the later war variant. There's another version in this as well. You got the size of this plane, so it's quite big, nearly 1/2 meter wide. Only 26.8, but 30 centimeters long. But with a 30 centimeter ruler, that's how long this thing's going to be. Skill level 4. If this is old Revell skill level, this is going to have 150 parts in it, which is possible. You've got 2 radio engines and an interior for this, and it's kind of a big plane, so yeah, it's possible. I'll have a look at the back in a minute. It'll tell you what the skill level actually means. But first, let's look at one of the sides. So again, we've got skill level 4 PBY and Revell. There's the box art again. There's a barcode if you fancy scanning it. No idea what scale it is on this side. Interesting. So we've got this way, so if you want to display the box this way around, you can. Revell skill level 4, PBY Catalina, 1/72nd, 121 parts. So there's me saying that this has potentially got 150 parts, and it tells me right there, no, it does not have 150 parts. Okie dokie. This side, this will be the side you display on the shelf. So level 4 again, picture of the Catalina, and all the details again. yeah, they've done this. So you can display it either this way on the other side or this way on this side. That's a good feature. So 121 parts, yeah, all that again. And finally on the back, we have pictures of the actual plane when it's built, so you can actually see what it looks like. We've got kind of like a sprue map, sprue guide. Detailed model kit. Pause if you want to read any small writing. Model replica of the infamous plane. Features: detailed cockpit, undercarriage, side observational blisters. Kind of comes with the plane, to be honest. Machine gun mounts, which will be for these. Radio engines, I hope so. Rotatable propellers. It comes with, one of the features is spinny propellers. Choice of extend or retractable ring floats, and it doesn't say retractable or deployable wheels undercarriage either. Comes with 4 bombs. One thing it doesn't say here, unlike it normally does not state what the skill level is. Have they kind of realised, as I've got another one here, this says skill level 3, which means it's got 100 parts. Oh, even here, just... Oh no, yeah, 1 stacked together and 5 over... Oh, 5's over 150. I think at this point, when they did this one, they were kind of realising that their skill level doesn't match up with what they're actually saying. So in this one, they just got rid of it altogether. Unless it's tied in instructions somewhere. So, okie dokie. Oh yeah. Spoilers. Right, content. I've got to do this two-handed, so let's have a look what we've got on the inside here. Conveniently, I've just managed to get it all out in one go. So we've got a baggie with all the sprues in it. Every sprue is in there. Is that new? I haven't even opened it. We have stuff that does not want to get picked up. So we got whatever this is in different languages. Ah, safety advice in various different languages. We have the decals. Hey, it focuses. Apologies if you've come watching the Spitfire float plane version. I do not know what's going on, but got the focusing working now on this one. But yep, there we go. That's the decals that you require. So we've got the universal parts in the middle with decaled seat belts. Okay. Oh, instruments. Let's have a look. Can we actually make out how to fly this plane? Ish. More along the lines, I don't know. Oh, those go on the propeller. I was just wondering what these number 5s are, but they go on the propeller. I recognise that. But decal-wise, quite nice. And then the last thing to come out of the bag is the camera falling over. And the last thing to come out of the bag is the instructions. Which we'll have a look at now. So, this one is the later edition Revell kit. So we have A3 bits of basically like plastic paper. It's not paper, it's got a nice sheen gloss to it. So yeah, quite nice. A guide on how to do the decals, paint the stuff off, and yeah, quite handy. Very first feature, reading the instructions. Nah, we don't need to read the instructions. Yeah, we do. All the useful bits right here. All the icons we're going to see later. I do like this. It's all colour. Oh, there's so much reading this in colour at times. Required colours. So Revell do what they normally do, which is letters. But they don't have set colours for each variant. Oh, no. If you want colour A, for example, you need to mix blue matte with off black colour. I cannot pronounce that word. And it's a 50-50 mix. As you can kind of see, Revell like mixing their colours. Revell, please, can you just stop this and just extend your paint range a little bit so you've got all these colours needed? Or say A, like A1 is your mixed variant, and AB, this is the next closest colour we've got. Go have fun. I don't like these mixed colours. Ugh. You got to mix rust with iron metallic. Whatever. H. Ugh. Whatever. Okay, let's move on. So we've got a sprue map. That's quite handy. Just a sprue map? I swear there's more than just that. There is. There's the other half of it. Okie dokie. So we start with... Right. We start with the landing gear. So we've got to paint all this up if you want to... Well, this is the other thing with the new Revell ones. It shows you the... Say, come down to the fuselage, spoilers. It shows you which bits you need to paint up. And a rough idea of the colour as well. So as you know, for here, when you're doing the bits that connect the tyres to the actual... Well, the landing gear bay. This is all F, which is an off green colour. And I, in the middle there, the piston that goes up and down, the suspension, will be in metallic. Be in a steel colour, whatever I is. There's G. I is iron. So first off, options. So you can either have the landing gear out, and it tells you landing gear out. Optional as well, with the question mark. So landing gear out or down. Either way, you have got to do the wheels. Interestingly, it says that B, you have to do that in that colour. Oh, A or B. My finger's in the way. But yeah, okay, A or B, depending on which variant you're doing. But if you'd want the landing gear away, is it the same piece? Oh, the bonus. So I-27, it's the same piece. So you can either... you got... Or A-27. You got to do that either way and then glue the wheel onto it. So that's good. I've just spotted this bit here where it shows you the picture of the landing gear out assembled. That's a nice feature. Next we got the starboard side of the fuselage. So choice of either landing gear in or out. Make sure you glue the clear plastic in. Use PBY glue. If you use the plastic cement that you use for the fuselage on the clear plastic, it will fog up and look horrible. You have been warned. So okie dokie, so we've got all this bit for the starboard, and we can guess the next bit is... Nope, not the port side. I hope not, because we haven't even done the cockpit yet. So we have one of the ballistas, so we've got the machine gun that goes on the side, plus the walkway for it. Now, Catalinas, if you're not aware of it, have this little stinger machine gun hiding just under the tail. You think you're safe coming up underneath one of these? No, that bugger will get you. Next we have a random bit of plastic with a random decal. It's clearly an instrument panel. But yeah, it doesn't bode well for detail if that's your representation of the instrument panel. Next, what I could assume is going to be the control column for the pilot and co-pilot. Next, this thing does have a forward-firing machine gun, so if you're doing the early version, we'll have a look at the version later, the paint guides. A or B? Why would there be an option for this if you're only making... okay. So yeah, we've got the machine gun that just goes through the canopy, the glass turret section. But if you're doing the early version, it's that, and if you're doing the later version, they upgraded it to 2 machine guns that you've got to slot up it through this hole into the 2 holes of this bit and then glue that to that. Seems complicated. Next, we start with the cockpit section at last. Seats onto the floor, and then the floor onto the bulkhead. Then this bit, which is for the back, so we've got to put the walkway in between the 2 more bulkheads. And we've got to do the bombs now. I suppose you might as well get them over and done with, and it fills up this gap nicely in the instructions. Glue all that in to the starboard side still. So the cockpit, the walkway, the front landing gear bay, and instrument panel, glue all that lot in. And the little Stinger machine gun hiding there. You got to put the machine gun in, but then you cover it up. Surely there's an open version of that somewhere, because otherwise there's no point putting that machine gun there. Because it will be then also hidden by this bulkhead, as you can see here. That must be openable. Then we glue the control column in, and one of the 2 turrets, and then glue the port side to the starboard side. I'm guessing, because I probably missed it, when you're doing all the clear plastic on this side and the blister section, do it all the same for the port side. You can tell I've edited this bit. Next, drill a ton of holes. These are probably going to be for the bombs and stuff. But yeah, glue all drill all the holes, and then jump straight onto the floats. Huh? Again, I assume it's purely just to fill up this gap. But you could just do that with the wings, because the wings is the very next bit. Why did it tell us to do this? Jump to this, and then the very next bit is jump back to this section again. Revell, your instructions make no sense. Okay. Floats. So if you want the floats down, kind of awkwardly done there, because it says landing gear down, not floats down. But yeah, we'll do the floats down, jump back to the engines, and glue exhaust covers on, which would be one of these, which would be the holes that you drove up here. Then the outer wings. Glue the upper and lower outer wing together. And if you want floats down, you then do this bit, section 22, and if you want floats up, section 23. Next, I'm guessing those are exhausts. Early and late version, so again you've got to decide which one you're going to do with all the part numbers. 25 and 26, again, more if you're doing early or late version. You really got to make your decision straight off and then make the appropriate parts. Next, glue all the wing sections together. This is a wide plane. Glue all that together. And then glue it onto the fuselage. Then you do the tail surfaces. And then the engine. Okay. So, if you want spinny propeller... Oh, they've done this in reverse. Kinda. Normally, I would expect the... So that spinny bit where it goes on the front of the propeller, that's normally not separate. Why did they do that separate? Okay, but they've done this in reverse. So the peg, instead of being on the back of the propeller, it's all the way down here. So you push that through the engine. Do not glue to the engine, but push it all the way through and then glue into the back of the propeller. Very carefully, like a little tiny blob of glue, and glue it in there, and ignore that. Or if you're like me, don't care about spinny propeller, glue that to that to that. Then glue that onto the front for this bizarre version. And make sure you put the cowling through first. Oh, yeah. So you got to push the peg through the engine and peg through the cowling. You could probably glue those two together first and then worry about the spinny propeller. Yeah, do that. Paint up the engine and the inside of the cowling. Glue the engine to the cowling, let that dry, and then put the peg through the engine and then glue to the propeller. Do that way around. Then we were going back to the landing gear. And you got the little cover for if you want the landing gear down, you paint the cover up and just out there. Next, you put the tail surfaces onto the vertical stabilizer. And then the support struts for the upper wing onto the fuselage. I am stumped. If landing gear is up, glue the wheels on. But if the landing gear is down, you wait all the way to stage 35 to glue them on. Okay. We've already... Unless that is the front wheel, and please tell me the front wheel is not in two sections. As I'm judging by the arrow, it probably is. You then glue it to the front strut and then put the strut in. And if you're still doing landing gear down, flaps open. Or you can skip all that and put the flaps together for landing gear up. Next, you glue the engine on. And then the exhaust for the early version. Or the exhaust for the late version. Okie dokie. Bombed and radar? Somebody's probably going to correct me. I'm guessing that's the P-tail tube. I'm guessing that's radar, and it's the late version only. We'll have a look. Somebody's going to correct me saying that it's not radar. If you're doing the late version, so we're gluing the canopy on. If you're doing the late version, you've got to drill a hole and put this. Somebody has told me that before. I'm sorry, forgot what this is. I think it is something radar, not radar. Radio equipment piece. Oh, there's P-tail tube. Light. And then the side blisters. Why does it? Oh, different side blisters if you're doing the early or late variant. Ooh, paint guides! So that was literally it. Oh no, early version has the radar. So first variant we have that doesn't fit on the Alaska 1943. Okie dokie, so we have, I think this is the earlier style, so the petal blue and grey underside. Spread over 2 pages, so it gives you plenty of, like lining up the decals, it gives you plenty of space to show all the detail and everything. That's not quite nice. I think like this flat. There's nothing in the box. There's nothing extra. There's nothing in the sprues. It comes with 2 options, unless... Okay, I skipped a page. Okay, so yeah, do the blister, and then 1947 version. So yeah, all the difference there. So you don't have the radar there. Okay, interesting. But you do have that one there. So yeah, that's it for the 2 different variations. So that's the instructions done. Okay, the sprues. So as you can see, as soon as I got them all out of the big bag, most of them have been individually wrapped into smaller bags. I say individually, the clear plastic's the only one that's individually been wrapped in clear plastic, but all the others at least have 2 sprues in. Yeah, each one has 2 sprues in per bag. So what we'll do, we'll start off with one of the bags, have a look at the 2 sprues in there before jumping on to the next one. So we'll start right to left. So give me a minute to open up this one, and we'll have a look at the sprues. So we'll start off with the first sprue here. So we've got one of the bulkheads and the float. Now, there we go, just so you can actually see the detail. Lots of rivet lines, and it is recessed rivet lines as well. So that's not too bad there at all. They look quite nice actually, the float there. Plural. So we've got the struts, which look a little flimsy, so take care of cutting those off. Steering wheels. Seats look like seats, so yeah. Pitot tube. The instrument panel, which is, yes, it's a plain piece of plastic. Try saying that quickly. But yeah, you can see nothing there, unfortunately. Ooh. Excuse me. Then we've got the engines. Detailed radial engines. That looks like 2 banks of radials, but they've only done, it's a single piece of plastic. If it's supposed to just be the single radial, then yeah, they wouldn't look too bad. If you're going to try and claim it's a feature, to be honest, even though you're probably not going to see it that well, I would probably prefer it where you would have the 2 banks of radials and you stick them together. But that's me personally, but the engines, especially if you get them just like that, all those are nicely detailed. They are nicely detailed engines. So technically, the feature section of the box didn't lie. A bit more of the wing section that goes in between these bits on the floats. when it's folded away. Yep, that's quite nice. Propeller, quite nicely detailed there. And the machine guns, you could potentially confirm, yep, those are all 50 caliber machine guns. So, yep, they do actually, they're not all that well detailed. You haven't got the cocking handle, you haven't got the ejection and feed slides in it, so you can't feed port. But it's there. You've got a semi-decent machine gun. We have definitely seen worse on this channel, haven't we? So those aren't too bad. So have a quick look at the bulkhead on the other side. Is there anything? Nope, which is what you would pretty much expect, because there's nothing in for this bit to go to. So, and the cockpit section is blank as anything. Bit of flash. Naughty, naughty. I know sometimes they can't help it, but so far the first Sprue we looked at, and there's only a tiny bit of flash. I don't know whether that's a bad thing, bad sign of things to come, or not bad. But overall so far, not too bad on that one. This one, so we've got the walkway, not the walkway, the stand for the machine guns that go on the blisters. Those are quite nice. Though I don't know if you can quite make it out. Yeah, you can. You got the ejection pin marks right at the top here. On the plus side, you might not be able to see them, but as they're right there, that's going to be quite hard to get rid of. So, pros and cons with that one. The bomb fins are in 2 pieces, but don't look too bad. 2 more of the bulkheads. No detail that side. Yeah, detail's not too bad there. So we've got to flip back over for the walkway. Walkway in the middle. That's not too bad. It's quite nice. The bombs, yeah, not too bad. And the gun shields, kind of basic there. But overall, sorry, I don't quite recognise what those bits go to. That'd be the parts for the propellers. Is that for the bombs? It might be for the bombs. But overall, not too bad for this first Sprue, so hopefully that's a good sign of things to come. So a little bit mixed, so we do have some nicely printed detail, and then we've got some parts that should have detail which don't. I'm looking at the instrument panel. No, I'm not. I'm looking at this Sprue, but I'm referencing the instrument panel. So let's have a look at this Sprue, which should be quick because it's just the wings. The wings. So, ooh. What's that for? That's saying is that sometimes you're easy to please. When it comes to detail like this, I suppose it's not easy to please if you do have to put quite a bit of effort to put the detail in. And this level of detail, so we got the canvas surface, the control surface is complete. That's all canvas, and you can clearly tell because they've even tried to mimic like a canvas pattern there. And then you've got all the rivet lines and the individual panel lines as well. So it's easy to please when you're like, oh yeah, that's nice and easy to. It's like, but somebody's put effort into making these wings, and they make these wings look good. Yeah, those are nice, and these are the outer wing sections as well. They look nice, and as I say, you got the bit full of flap, so it should not flap even. That's for the floats. So very, very nice. I do like a lot. Engines. No detail, piece of junk. It's this side. So we have more of the fabric surface on the back here. Interesting. And the rivet lines all along here. So the bits which have the support arms that go from the fuselage to the actual wings, these are just smooth. As you can see there, that's just smooth there. So, I can see that causing. I suppose it'd be easy if you get it if you line up that bit just right with the fuselage and it's actually flat. Well, that bit up there is flat, and it's easy enough to slot into that. I suppose because there's no grooves, it both makes things easier and harder. Because it's not when you're trying to put the struts on, they ain't going to get caught on anything. So they're easy enough to get there, but then nothing potentially to line them up with. I could just be overthinking that, but yeah, okay. So overall, the detail is still very, very nice, including on the upper surface there. That's nice. I do like these wings and the engine nacelles as well. That's good. Unfortunately, there is no detail in the holes for the lights, which are these bits I was just looking outside. Okay, so that was it for this one. So let's have a look at the fuselage. So the fuselage. So let's have a look on the outside first. And okay, I'm going to pick up the same thing here with the wing support struts. I've gone completely out of focus. There we go. Yep, smooth there as well. So okay, that might prove interesting. But the fuselage itself, ooh, oh, that looks nice. The fabric surfaces on the rudder as well. Very, very nice. You think I like this plane? I think I like this plane. So that's nice. So we got the landing gear bays. We'll have a look at that on the other side in a minute. Exhaust engine cowlings. Now these are a bit rough. You can see that quite clearly there. That ain't smooth. That's very rough. That's not moulded well. Or there's a bit of flash there. Landing gear again. The radar bits. A bit flashy again. I didn't think this kit was that old. Let's have a look at the wheels at the top here. So we have... I can see the tread on this wheel. That's nice. And the front wheel, which I'm pretty certain I saw the tread. And yes, it's in two pieces. It's a bit bigger than I was expecting. So okay, I'll let them off on that. But, oh, that's a really nicely detailed plane. Oh, the landing gear arms or struts. Yeah, they're quite nice. Bit basic, but quite nice. Have a look on the inside. The cockpit section, we have... I would say that's an ejection pin, but it's not. That's the bit where you connect the... you know in the instructions you had the rod that you put the two steering wheels on. That would go onto that, and there's a similar one on that side as well. But beyond that, and the ejection pin marks, they've tried to avoid the cockpit section, so that's not too bad. But the detail kind of comes under the category of what detail? Okie dokie. That's a bit of a letdown, because the same with this side as well. Nothing there. They put all the effort onto the exterior, but nothing for the interior. Okay, some of these bits here, like the bulkheads and the walkways, it's nice, but I'm pretty certain that it's not smooth plastic, or what would be smooth aluminium on the real thing for both the cockpit and the blister bays. The landing gear bays are kind of basic, but quite nice. Again with the ejection pin marks. Okie dokie. Not bad at all. There's no detail. Oh, it is. So again, that's what we'd expect. Nice panel lines. Not too deep. So again, just be careful with painting. If you're using a hand brush, as opposed to an airbrush, just be careful to make sure you don't accidentally fill in those panel lines. The canvas surfaces are, that's the rest of them, very, very nice. Remember I called this thing a radar because I couldn't remember what it actually is for, so that's not... that's quite nice. Some of the exhausts. Two lots of twin machine guns. Now these are, unless they're supposed to be the, like, 20mm Oerlikon cannons, if those are supposed to be the 50 cals, those do not look like 50 caliber machine guns whatsoever. So, just trying to think, would they be twin 30s? But that doesn't look like the body of a 30 caliber. And the only other thing I think of the Americans would be using is the M60, and I don't think the M60 came round when the Catalina was about. So, whatever these are, they're not what I would expect them to be. Big minus points there. And the other side of the vertical stabilizers, again, same as the front top half, bottom half, whichever half these are. Very nice, very, very nice. Okay, I'm not going to bag this up, but I am going to look at this one. The clear plastic, which is... So, I'm just looking, you can see on both the blister and the canopy, it has rivet and panel lines. So the panel lines are all the raised frame lines, even, it's probably more accurate wording. The frame lines are just raised enough, they don't stand out massively like some of the Airfix ones do, but they're not completely like sunk away like some of like the earlier Italianos are sometimes. That is very nice, and the hole, if you're making the early version, that hole is on the inside. So the radar dome thing that appears there, it won't appear. So that is nice, that's really good. The lights, which are these down here. So you can see there is a circle in there to represent, put my finger in the way, you can kind of see it better there. So there's a circle there just to represent the light, but I've definitely seen better versions of lights, but passable. Some of the other windows are not too bad, some of these small ones, probably not going to see much through them, but there's no detail on the interior anyway, so not going to see it. The big blisters are very nice. Right, now let's test how clear are these. So let's put you in that hand, you in that hand. Okay, so comparison with no clear plastic, with the canopy over the top. A little bit of warping through the front curved windscreen, but I'm just trying to line up with the actual windows as opposed to the picture you're going to paint as plastic, or paint as the metal, either the blue or the dark blue. But oh, that is clear. That's really good plastic. Same with the machine gun turret, even though there's nothing really in the turret itself. Blisters are clear as well. You might get a little bit of warping here and there, but that's not too bad. That's really, really nice clear plastic. Okie dokie. Let me bag up these last 3 sprues and in turn put everything away. And final thoughts. Okay, so my final thoughts on Revell 72nd scale Catalina. Minus the mini rant earlier with the instructions, definitely need streamlining. If you're going to work on landing gear, do the landing gear. If you're going to tell us to do the wings followed by the engines, that's how I would normally expect it, rather than here's the wings, do the wings, about 10 stages later, do the engines. I'm sorry, Revell, that needs streamlining for me. If there's bits where I've got to come back later while I wait for the stuff to dry, such as I've done the engines, I've got to wait for them to dry before gluing them onto the wing, that's down to me to decide on. So sorry, the instructions definitely need work on. The plane itself, on the exterior, it's a bit mixed. Yeah, it's kind of like mixed. So the outside is beautiful. Clear canvas surfaces, clear panel lines, beautiful rivets all over the place. Really, really nicely done. And then you look at the interior, and unless it's the bit with the blister, which I imagine there's supposed to be even more back there, some of the detail's not really there. The outside is beautiful, but the inside is passable. I've kind of been spoiled with the outside now, and I was expecting the inside to be just as good. And instead we get a blank piece of plastic, which you've got to put a decal on for the instrument panel. Barely anything for the cockpit section. And considering how big these blisters are, I would have thought you would definitely have something on the inside to represent like the bulkheads. Nothing there. So this kit, especially how clear the plastic is, the clear plastic has how clear and see-through it actually is. This could definitely do with some aftermarket parts for the interior. But overall, it looks like it's going to be a really nice plane to display. Making it, yes, I would say it's potentially a challenge. Would I put at a skill level 4? Possibly. Okay, if we ignore skill level, if we ignore skill level 1, because Revell says that's the snap together kits. So introductory, intermediate, expert, professionals. I would probably say a level 3 for this. So, actually, let me know, because I've been thinking about this. I've put in my own level, my own point system on these videos. What do I think is like the level of detail, 1 to 10, instructions, how clear they are, again 1 to 10, and what do I think the actual skill level of this plane is? Again, 1 to 5. I just said snap together, beginner, intermediate, expert, professional. Let me know actually if you feel like that's something that would actually benefit these videos. But overall, this does feel like it's going to be an excellent plane to make and an excellent display piece. But could definitely do with some aftermarket, possibly for this front turret, because that's just a big empty hole there for the cockpit. and maybe a little bit full of blister at the back. So please let me know. Put it in the comment section. Also, if you've made this, is this actually a little bit harder? I would say is this as easy as it appears, or is there any traps? But potentially it looks like it goes together well. So, in fact, is there any traps? Is there anything to look out for? Hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you on the next video. Thanks, bye.